everyone, Monica here, and for the longest time I have been asked how do I make my paper sculpture stand. It's very simple, but to me I believe it's the hardest part of the sculpture for multiple reasons. So what we do is we're going to set this aside, and what you're going to need is a few things. So you're going to need a palette knife, some glue, preferably glue stick or craft glue. And you're going to use the palette knife for getting underneath your sculpture to help stand it. So I'll explain that in a minute, and some strips that I have cut out ahead of time. So what we're going to do is use these strips to stand it. So you take one strip, and we're going to cut this in half soon. But for the depending on how big your shadow box is going to be how tall you're going to make your sculpture stand. So I'm going to do this, put this in half and fold it. Now at the moment I won't cut it, but I'm going to fold it again so I know where that fold is. And you really don't want to put pressure on it like in this video that I'm showing, put pressure on it, because that's going to be your main backing. I just want a line there to show that I'm going to fold it again up to that point. This time you want to put pressure on it, and one more time to that point, fold. And you're going to see that soon once it's done, once it's folded. You're going to see it's forming, and it's going to start forming a little, backing. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut this strip, half of it, and cut. Okay, so like I said before, we're going to have our backing. And so we're going to do the same thing we did again, fold it in half up to that mid fold that we did before, press down, okay, fold one more time up to that new fold. And as you can see now, it's starting to form a backing, so it will help your sculpture stand. What's going to happen is you're going to glue the main strip size here, and you're going to glue the two tabs down below. And so this is now giving it a little bridge, and what you're going to do is take your sculpture and paste it there like so. This will give it the main longer side to stand on the backing, and then your tabs on your sculpture, your frame part. Now what I'm going to do is take my glue stick and glue the backing. Glue the backing. Okay, so I got my sculpture. Now I'm going to glue down. All right, so now we have all our backings on the sculpture. And what we're going to do is we're going to glue the tabs. And we're going to go to the back of the frame. Now, I did say that these are maybe the hardest. It's simple, like you see, it is simple to do, but it's probably the hardest part I have with a sculpture. And it was a lot of trial and error for the longest time with different sculptures because I was using different shadow boxes. And I think I found a shadow box type that I like and stick with. So it all comes down to, I guess, the depth of your shadow box. Now, you also want to make sure this is on the right side. My first one I ever did, I did backwards, and it wasn't all that great. So as you can see, it stands, but this is where we're going to take the palette knife and go in and take the tabs that we just glued down and stick them down a little harder, because you only can put so much pressure on the top. You don't want to ruin your sculpture. Now, like I said, a lot of trial and error happened. You don't want to scrunch your sculpture, and you don't want to have it, cut off with the frame. So find a good size in between, medium, of how big you want your sculpture to be and such and so on. Like I said, I'm using the type of shadow box I'm using. I've used for a while now, so it's come natural to me. I know how the the height and depth of each box is and everything like that from just constantly doing it. So now that we have her all glued to the back of the frame, then check one more time, make sure all the tabs are down. And I think she's ready to go in her box. So here we are. She's in her box and the reveal. Ta-da! She's all set. Well, thank you very much, everyone, for joining me on this tutorial. It's my first tutorial I ever did. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions about paper sculptures or anything that was not really discussed in this video, comment below and I will get back to you. Thank you very much.